Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in again. Now what we're going to do here today is we're going to take our Echo Dot that we purchased, that's the second generation Echo Dot that we have here, and we're going to compare that to the Google Home Mini. So we're going to put those two devices head to head and I'm going to let you know which one I pick at the end of this. Alright, well let's compare these two great devices here. We have the Echo Dot second generation versus the Google Home Mini. These are direct competitors in both price and type of device. So let's get right into it here. The first thing I want to talk about is the speaker. So what you can see right off the bat is I'm going to say Google Home Mini is a far and away winner in this regard. The Google Home Mini comes with a 40mm 360 degree speaker. The Echo Dot is a 0.6 inch or 15mm approximate speaker. So in the end there is a major sound quality difference. Obviously both can do Bluetooth, so this can be mitigated, this difference, if you really want to go with the Echo Dot. But the other option from the Echo Dot 2 is the 3.5mm output. So overall, still I'm going to hand this to the Google Home Mini, and actually by a wide margin here. Now in terms of being able to listen and respond, this was a much closer battle here. What I'll say is that the Echo Dot is definitely excellent at hearing, at listening. So is the Google Home Mini. Really, I would call them equal on that part. Now, in terms of response, what I found was, hey, you know what? I'm not a perfect speaker, and certainly my 4-year-old child is not. But the difference really became Google Home Mini was able to decipher whatever my 4-year-old was saying almost every time. And I should add, this is without training the device to hear his nuances in his voice. So, you know, that was really impressive. And what I'll also say is, it's a little bit of a smarter device in terms of understanding a different combination of words. So, you know, sometimes I find the Echo Dot struggling a little bit with both a lack of enunciation or with understanding if I say something a little bit different. They often send you to the Alexa app. Hey Google, set an alarm for 5 minutes from now.
Alright, your alarm's set for 8:26 p.m.
Alexa, set an alarm for 5 minutes from now.
5 minutes, starting now.
Hey Google, cancel alarm.
Okay, cancelled.
Alexa, cancel alarm.
Your alarm is not set.
So again, I'm going to hand this winner to the Google Home Mini device. Obviously, this is a little closer, and it's really hard to tell the difference without really working with these devices for a long time. Now, in terms of look and feel, again, I'm going straight to the Google Home Mini. Obviously, it looks a lot better. The Echo Dot basically looks like a hockey puck. It's not an ugly device by any stretch of the imagination, but I think Google Home Mini and Google Home in general have done a great job in some of the skins for their devices, and I think they look great in a kitchen or a living room, whereas an Echo Dot I think ultimately looks a little bit better in an office environment. You can certainly see that sitting in kind of a techie space. So again, I think in the end Google Home Mini fits much more in people's homes. I think in general, the look and the feel of the device is a little bit stronger and it feels a little more high quality than the Echo Dot. Now moving on to the smart home, this is where the tide starts to turn. The Echo Dot is a clear winner here in the smart home, and it's not that Google Home Mini has a bad set of smart home products, it's just that Alexa's ecosystem just is so much larger than Google's in this case. So the Skills ecosystem is the best system in the world. It's kind of like an app store for smart home, and ultimately it defeats the Google Home or the Google Home Mini or whatever device Google Home puts up against that ecosystem. And I think that this is a big component, so it really brings the overall battle kind of back into an even state here, really. The one thing I will say is Google Home's applications or set of devices is limited by who they partner with, but they do have a better interface for putting all of this together. The Alexa app is just not quite up to snuff. So it's a closer battle than you might think with that great skills ecosystem, but ultimately Echo still wins. Now, in terms of kind of what I'd call life integration, so, we're talking about the calendars, the shopping list, traffic, sports, news, music, video. As we go through all of that, the winner here is the Echo Dot again, but this is a very, very close battle, and I would say both devices have been working on this and making significant gains in both cases. So, the calendar, one thing I'll tell you about the calendar is when we're talking about a Google Home Mini and the calendar interface, what happens on iOS or iPhone devices is you can't actually sync up those two without going to a third party and getting your calendar to sync across to a Gmail calendar or some kind of Google calendar. So that to me means, especially with the 3 different types of calendars that Alexa and the Echo Dot can use, that's a clear win for Echo there. The shopping list, I think there's obviously a lot of reasons that the Echo Dot and Amazon are going to win that battle. Strangely enough, if we're talking about traffic, this ended up in a tie for me. I really couldn't find a way to break either device or show a difference between either device. The traffic was always perfect from both of these devices, so I think that's a service that's really, at the end of its progression, or at least as far as I can tell, that service is almost perfect. Sports and news and music, they're relatively similar. I would say on the music side, you have a few more options within the Echo Dot, but on the flip side, the video is a clear win for Google just because of their capability with Chromecast. That's a $30, $40 device that allows you to play video through your Google Home Mini at any time, whereas Amazon really doesn't have a response for that, and certainly not within the Echo Dot. They have video capability, but it's a much, much more expensive device.
Hey Google, what's my day like?
Hi, Brian. The time is 8:04 p.m. Right now in Ardrossan it's -21 and clear. Tonight it's predicted to be -22 and clear. Have a good one. Here's the latest news. From CBC News, hourly edition, at 7 p.m. today.
Alexa, what's my day like?
Here are the next 4 events. On Wednesday, November 22nd, at 7:35 a.m. there's Jack School Day. On Thursday, November 23rd, at 7:35 a.m. there's Jack School Day.
So in the end, still, I'm going to call this a win for the Echo Dot. It's very, very close here, and really we're splitting hairs. I'm only really saying that they win too because of that calendar and the shopping list, and I would say that we've seen Google make progression in both of those recently, and I would say they're going to continue to do that. I've already seen some improvements in the shopping list, and I'm sure in the future the calendar will continue to get better. Now, in terms of how smart the device is, this is a landslide. And you don't notice this until you really start asking a lot of questions to the Google Home Mini.
Hey Google, set an alarm for 5 minutes from now.
Alright, your alarm's set for 8:26 p.m.
Alexa, set an alarm for 5 minutes from now.
5 minutes, starting now.
Hey Google, cancel alarm.
Okay, cancelled.
Alexa, cancel alarm.
Your alarm is not set.
So Google Assistant, in my mind, is heads and tails above Alexa at this point in time. And I'm not saying they're not going to catch up. And because of the skills ecosystem, eventually Alexa will, in my mind, catch up. But right now, if you ask the Google Assistant on your Google Home Mini a trivia question, a search question, a finance question, translation, timers, answers to any question, news, or just fun in general, Google Home Mini is way ahead. There's just no comparison. I couldn't get the right stock quotes out of Alexa every time I was turned to go to the Alexa app and look up skills. And while that's fine, eventually skills, if companies aren't making money with those skills, they may not pursue updating those. So yes, they will eventually catch up, but right now I don't see a path where these companies can go and make money just by providing something like a finance quote. And Alexa and Amazon in their Echo Dot, they just don't have access to some of these things that Google does, where they've built those services over time, such as the search, the finance, even translation, and answers to basic questions. So the device smarts, I think Google Home Mini is heads and tails above the Echo Dot here.
Hey Google, play a random song.
Sure, here's some music on Google Play Music.
Alexa, play a random song.
I couldn't find any songs that match your request.
Now, in the end, I'm going to say the Google Home Mini is actually the best device here. It's relatively close. The price is the same. In general, the devices can be interchanged. Obviously, Alexa and the Echo Dot are winning on the skills ecosystem. But what we have on the flip side is Google Assistant is a much, much smarter device, or a much, much smarter assistant than Alexa is in the end. The Google Home Mini is clearly a higher quality item, both in look and feel, and just, I think, reliability over the life of having either of these devices. It also has a much, much better speaker in it. So what I would say is the Google Home Mini is serviceable as a speaker for music, whereas the Echo Dot really is not. So in the end, I'm going to give this to the Google Home Mini. Both devices are fantastic, don't get me wrong, but I'm just going to give the slight edge to the Google Home Mini today for those reasons. So I hope that helps you pick one of these devices to kind of start moving towards. All right, well, there you go. We've got those two devices compared now, and I think it's pretty clear which one I'm preferring. Now, I think, ultimately this comes down to what people are looking for specifically in their homes, but you can't really go wrong with either device at the price point that you're paying for either device. So it really depends on what you want. If I had to baseline it for you, I'd say I like the Google Home or the Google interface a little better than I like the Alexa interface, but ultimately Alexa has the better home control, the skills, that ecosystem's a little better. On the flip side, again, the Google Home Mini really does have the better speaker by a long shot, in my opinion. So anyways, there you go. There you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please do click that subscribe there. Of course, you can always click a like and share this with a friend who's trying to make a decision on whether or not to kind of head down the Google Home path or the Alexa path. So we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.